Hi, welcome back to Cheyenne, Wyoming Urban Gardener. This is Debbie, and I am very excited to show you that we have gotten just about everything planted. So that means almost everything out of the growing room and is now outside. Now it's a little bit shocked because it is cooler outside. So it's trying to get used to the weather. It just happened this morning, so we've got a little bit of some flopping over and stuff like that. Always happens when you're transplanting. And, of course, I'm always going to lose one or two along the way, or usually lose one or two along the way. But anyway, got the Cheyenne cantaloupe out here already planted. Got a Miller's watermelon. This actually came from a Miller's farmstead. And I'm just growing those for myself. And a strawberry watermelon. I don't even remember where I got those seeds from, but I had one of those, and I forget, honestly. Let me look and see which one this one is. This is another Cheyenne melon, so I have that. More Cheyenne melons here, cantaloupes. So I've got two here in this pot, and then I planted out another yellow pear tomato a little bit earlier, and I've got to get out here and clean up some stuff. I picked up two more of the rabbit trellises that I have in the garden, so I have those finally, and got some daffodils in this pot here, which did not have enough time to bloom or anything. Who knows, maybe they'll come along. I doubt it though. Radishes are really coming along in the big tub, and I did get another of my tomatoes out. This is a Sun Sugar Gold, so I went ahead and put this one in this container. That is my cilantro right now, looking fantastic. We've got some more tarragon seeds planted in here. I always have a tough time trying to get tarragon to grow. Got my transplanted my burpless cucumbers out here, and that's another. These are actually the Space Master cucumbers, so I've got 3 of those in this container and 3 of them in this container. And then I planted some Charleston Gray watermelons in these 3 larger containers just to see if I can get those up and going, because I really do enjoy the flavor on those. This is still the strawberry tub. This is the kiddie pool that was converted, and we're still not having. We had a little bit of growth in the beginning. We still have some green in there. We've got some basil in the middle, which is coming up. But I think we're going to have to replace these strawberries. These are the ones that were in the containers that we separated out. We've got a couple of them that got some greenery on them, but the rest of them just look like that they've either died off or they went dormant or something. So we're going to put some more crowns in here. And we have the herb garden out here. And we have dill coming up. And I need to get in here and weed some of this. And then we have some mustard coming up here along the left side of the columbine. I need to trim the columbine back. My daylilies. And then we have some chamomile over there, which is now blooming, at least a few of them. And I've got some more planted in there that should be coming up soon. And we've got some savory and some lettuce. And this is the Four Seasons lettuce, and let me show you that. It will turn more of a rusty red color. So all of those are coming up. And then we have some summer savory in here, which has not came up as yet, maybe a little bit too cool. And it comes on when it gets a little bit warmer. We have some rosemary in here, which is not up yet, will soon be. Salvia is definitely blooming, and we've got some grass coming up in there, and I've struggled with keeping grass out of things because it is so tough through here. The elf thyme I had cut back quite a bit, and it's coming back out now, and my oregano is now coming out, and I'm gonna have to get out here and trim some more on those. That is my lavender there in the center is looking good. The other salvia coming on. And I hope everyone's doing really well. We're walking back to one of the 2 main gardens now. We do have 5 or 6 plots at this point. I'm not sure. My corn is coming up. This is the early sun glow corn. I went back to that. So we have all of that coming up. Way more than what we had of the peaches and cream last season. So this is definitely coming up more. We've got our Tahitian squash transplanted out, and it is kind of struggling, so I may have to end up replanting the Tahitian squash. We will see. I'm hoping not, because I'm really running low on seeds on those. And we've got the garlic and the shallots all looking fantastic, and I went ahead and planted my 4 Kellogg's breakfast tomatoes out here in the front of those and along the sides. We have all of our Kennebec potatoes coming up. Look at that. Definitely beautiful to see that. Looking for some greenery, and it is definitely coming on. We got more basil over here in one of the square foot pots, and then borage here in the green pot. We've got borage coming up all over the garden that we need to get out. In fact, I even transplanted some early this morning. So I've got 10 borage plants here they're going to be giving out to people just to get them out of my garden, and to help those that maybe didn't get a garden started and want to try that. Got another tomato transplanted into my grandson's little container, and I also gave him one of my peppers that were in those packs that we got at reduced cost that had one broken off, and it did have another little piece coming on, so went ahead and gave him that one to see if it pulls out and does something. Another of my Sun Sugar Gold tomatoes, and these containers that I have these in are about 2-gallon containers, and I did use some of those last season and they did just fine, and as well as these. I planted a pepper along with a couple of borage in this big container, and I did plant 26 tomato plants, and I have super sauce tomatoes, San Marzanos, Old German, and what else do I have in here? I think that is it. So we have 26 tomato plants over here, then plus the 4 Kellogg's breakfast tomatoes, that makes 30. We got our 6 red curry squash over here in the same area we had them last season. My beans are now coming up. You can see all my beans in a row down through there. We had a warm day today at 70 degrees, and it just prompted those beans to start coming on up. So they're working on getting on out of the ground. Got my 7, I ended up with 7 Black Beauty, I believe, eggplants. So I just went ahead and planted them around in the circle, and we'll put some sunflowers in the center. Along the edge here of my potatoes, all through here I planted spinach. So we'll have a long row of spinach there along the edges. And you can see my clematis is getting ready to bloom over there. I ended up with 115 onions. I thought it was going to be 200, but it's actually 115, which is fantastic for us. And then I have green bunching onions planted as well, seeds and some that had already come up from last season. And again, that's the 26 tomatoes that we had. And we actually have 2 more tomato plants inside that had been offshoots from the San Marzano that had rooted. So we've got those started as well. So we'll end up having 2 more that'll come outside. We've got the 3 artichokes out here, which are now putting on some extra growth since they've gotten outside. And we planted some acorn squash seeds behind that. And we have purple passion asparagus that's planted all along the front here, which will not be ready for a couple of years. It's got a 2-year time before you start pulling. And then we've got our regular green asparagus through here, and I think it was the Jersey asparagus. And then we have some garlic chives that randomly came up in this section, plus our roses. We got the 3 roses over here, which are doing fantastic. We've got irises that are getting ready to bloom. We've got purple and yellow. And we have okra that is planted in this row. Here are our peas all along the trellises. We've got both bush type peas and pole type peas. We have the super snappy or something like that. It has like 13 peas to a pod. We've got lettuce that is planted way back in the back, and it is all coming up along the back there. Same place that I planted my lettuce last season, and it did so well. We got all of our pepper plants planted. There were 24 of them. So the ones that are small along this front row are mine that I had planted from seed, and the other ones are the ones that I got on clearance at Menards at the $1 per pack. And we just ended up with a lot of peppers. We've got the Flavor Burst, we've got Better Bell 3, I think it is, and then of course mine had the accident and got all mixed up, so we're not really sure what those are going to be. They will be some type of bells or snacking peppers, either one. All of them are sweet. We don't really care for the hot peppers. And then you can see my onions in the back. Those are the bunching onions that I had come up last season. And then you can see my celery as well that I planted. And I forget the type of celery that is, but we have celery all along through here. I ended up with 15 plants. This one's kind of struggling here in the front, so I'm not real sure it will make it. I may need to uncover it a little bit. But all the rest of them look wonderful. And then we've got some medium head cabbage back there in the back, 6 plants of those. And then all of the cabbages that I started from seed, and broccoli and cauliflower all through here. We've got our snowball cauliflower right here next to the celery. Then we have the Waltham broccoli next to that, and the Fairy Round Dutch cabbages through here, and the red cabbages through here. And all of them so far are making it. Some of them are really small, but they are making it. And then we've got the 3 rows of potatoes here. These are Yukon Gold. The 2 mounds of carrots over there, and of course we have the Danvers rainbow carrots and the giant Parisians, as well as another bed of lettuces, all different kinds of, called a gourmet blend of lettuce through there. And then we have all of these containers out through here with my mints, my thyme, lemon thyme, you name it, hibiscus. We got 2 hibiscus plants. There is my lemon tree, and I'll be planting some cucumber seeds along the bottom of my lemon tree because I really enjoyed it last season. And then we've got our lemon balm and basil. There's more basil through here. And these are all of the transplanted chives that we got out of the garden. And they are just, well, they beyond took off. I was shocked at how well they have been doing. And then of course we only have a couple of the Greek oregano. I planted some more seeds, so we're going to see if those come on. And the parsley that I transplanted that I kept all winter, it's looking beautiful. It's definitely filling out now. So we have lots of parsley through there. And we have more chives and garlic chives here in this one. We've got some dianthus here, as well as some geraniums that I had transplanted. My fuchsia is looking better again. It's starting to put on some more leaves. And we got another one transplanted that we had rooted out into this bigger container. Rosemary, sage, and then all of our plants through here, which is the dinosaur kale and the colorful beets mix and the rutabaga, and then of course all of our potted plants, like our flowers, all along through here, the hanging plants, and we've got the rhubarb. All of that is going on. So just so many things going on right now out here in our garden. But I'm so happy that I finally got everything transplanted in for the most part. I've only got a few plants left on the inside to come out, and those are just mostly things that I separated off from the main plants. And I'm so happy the irises are going to bloom this season, because they did not bloom last season because I mulched them and it ended up making them a mess. So we've got all of that going on, and we've got so many more beans. There's just so much more in this garden this season than there was last season. So here's hoping and praying that we have a really good season. And apologize, there's sounds like motorcycles going through. So like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for notices on new videos as they come out. And we shall see you in the next one.